Hi, welcome to this part of the class. Today we are going to be talking about plotting support and resistance zones. Now we need to understand that price moves from zone to zone, from one support and resistance zone to another support and resistance zone. Understanding support and resistance zones helps trading. Once you know how to plot your support and resistance zones, trading becomes easy for you. Now what I mean by this is that support and resistance zones help you to segment the chart into the immediate trading zone, into the immediate price movement. Now once you're able to get these segments or get these zones, you can now look at strategies in which you can take advantage of the bullish or the bearish moves. So plotting your support and resistance zones right helps you trade better, and it makes trading easy. So in this course, or in this part of the course, we'll be talking about support and resistance and how to plot them effectively. So this is more of a practical class, but before then I just want to introduce what support and what a resistance zone is. What is support and resistance zones? A support, this is the price on the chart where selling pressure reduces and the buyers take over. At support, price turns from a downward trend to an upward trend. Resistance, this is the price on the chart where buying pressure reduces and the sellers take over. At the resistance, price turns from an upward trend to a downward trend. So what it means is that for a support, price is usually above a support, but by the time it is expected that by the time price gets to a support, there is a high tendency for price to reverse from being a downward trend to an upward trend. But this is not always the case. There is a case where support is broken, and once a support is broken, it turns to resistance. I'm going to show you all this in the chart. Likewise, the resistance, it is expected that price being below the resistance, by the time it gets to the resistance on its way up, it should reverse back. But there are times when the resistance is broken, and once a resistance is broken, it turns to support. Now let's dive into the chart. I will see you at the back ends where I will show you the chart and how we will be plotting the support and resistance zones. So let me just go to my chart briefly. Hold on. Thank you. Welcome to the chart. Now on this chart, this is a Euro USD chart. Now for me to plot support and resistance, I first of all come to the monthly time frame. You will see where my cursor is. This is the monthly time frame. Why do I need to come to the monthly time frame? Remember, we're treating the multi-time frame approach to trading. Now the monthly time frame gives you a total understanding of what price is doing at the moment. Now if you look at this chart, you can see everything that Euro USD has done from 2006, January 2006 till July 2021, which is the current date when I'm recording this video. Now to plot support and resistance properly, go to your monthly time frame. The first way to plot support and resistance is first identify the major swings. Like I'm using the arrows, these are the major swings. These are the major swings on the monthly time frame. These are the major, this is not a swing. Let's get another arrow. Downward arrow. This is also a major swing. This is a major swing. Now now that we've looked at these swings, you find out that somehow with your eyes you find that they are almost aligning on a horizontal straight line. So what do? We bring out a horizontal line and try to join these swings the best way we can. Now if you look at what I'm doing, I'm trying to make sure that the swings join each other. Sorry, I'm going to remove this arrow so that we can see this properly. Alright, so from this you will find out that we have gotten these swings, and I'm trying to join the swings with a horizontal line. This horizontal line is going to help us identify the proper support. Now this can be a support or a resistance depending on where price is. If price is below this line, then it is a resistance. If price is above this line, this becomes a support. So now look at what I have done. I've tried to join the swings together as much as I can. Now one thing I want you to note is that support and resistance, they are usually not a line, but I try to use a line to identify them so that I can be as exact as possible. So from what I have done, you see that price, this is a swing, it almost got to this swing and went off, so we can call this place a swing. Let's try to take this line up a bit to accommodate this swing. This also came here, manipulated here. This is a manipulation, gave a pin bar that went back into the line. You also see that price came, broke the line and came back into this line. So this makes this place a powerful support or resistance. So look at what happened. It also came here and went off. The same thing happened here. It broke it, it came back into the line, and from here it started going off. So I'll call this place my first point of support or resistance, and it is identified as the major support. Once you have identified this, you can go ahead and identify other levels that are very important to trading. Now this is called a key level. What is the price? The price is 1.23132. Now let's find out another key level which is going to form our support or resistance. Now if you look at the monthly time frame, you find out there is another swing here. I may not be bringing out the arrow so that we move on fast. You find out that there's another swing somewhere here which we can identify. It also coincides with this swing. There is no right or wrong way of drawing support or resistance. The only thing you need to do is to get an accurate support or resistance. You need to make sure that the line touches as much swings as possible and try to centralize it to accommodate as much swings as possible. Now from what we have on the monthly time frame, we can also identify another one up here, but I may not be going out there because look at where price is trading at the moment. So plotting support and resistance at this area may not be useful to us at the moment. Maybe later on we can plot it, but let's look at where price is now. This is a swing, this is a swing, but you may not see it clearly on the monthly. So it is better we now go to, this is when I now go down to the weekly time frame to identify more swing zones or more swing points. Now let's go to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, you find out that now once you go to a lower time frame, you may not need to go all the way left. Now look at what we have done, how it has aligned with swings. See the touch, this one came in, touched it, came back in. You see there's kind of a resistance here. Look at the same thing happened here. It came up here, there was some sort of resistance, the same thing happened there. So this is a powerful support or resistance. Now looking at the weekly time frame, we can identify more. But now that we are on the weekly time frame, you focus more on the price action, where price is happening at the moment. This is towards the right. So look at what we have. Let me bring up my arrow again. This arrow points out this is a swing, this is another swing. I'll just point out as much swings as possible. This is a swing. You can call this a swing. Look at the, let me use the red arrow. Okay, hold on. You can call this a swing. You can call this a swing too. So you see now, from what we see here, I can see another swing here. From what you see here, you see that these red lines and the red arrows and the green arrows are somehow aligning. So we'll bring out another line to join these swings and see how best we can join the swing. So let me bring out a line. Now what I do is, once I go to the weekly time frame, I try to change the color scheme so that you know which support is a monthly support and which is a weekly support. So I can change this to, let's say, blue. Blue is good, so we can identify it. Let me remove the arrows again for clarity. Just a moment, and we are almost done. All right, good. So now I've brought out another line. What we need to do now is to find a way to make sure that this line aligns with a lot of support. Now look at this. We can go to this point. It aligns here, it aligns here. Look at this, is a swing. It goes off, it comes here this way, it goes off. This place is a swing. It came in and crossed back inside. This is it. So this is good enough for us. You can actually call this, you can use a rectangle this way. Let me bring a rectangle to mark out this zone as the entire support and resistance zone, but I really don't like to do that. I want to map out to be a little bit accurate or a little bit exact with my support and resistance zone. That's why I use lines. Now instead of doing this, I can come to a lower time frame like daily time frame to plot. It will cover up this area for me. Now from what we have seen, we can even see another support and resistance zone, weekly support. Let me bring out this line. I may not use the arrows again because I believe you have learned how to use the arrows. The arrows is just to make it a little more visual. So now look at this, also aligns, this aligns. You see how price is shooting up from here, it shoots out. So this is also a good support and resistance zone. So from here now, you see that we have this. Okay, now look at again, between this and this, we can still have another support zone. Look at this point to take care of this swing and this swing. And if you go look left, you see how it radiates to these swings. So making this a very good support and resistance zone. So we can use this point as a good support, weekly support. Let's adjust it a bit so it accommodates this, and this. Good. If I go further, it's also, yes, it's almost there. So we can leave it here. We can leave it here. It's okay. It's okay. So now the thing is, having looked at this, you will find out that we have segmented this trade into zones, and it makes it easy. So what are we now going to be doing? We will now be looking at ways to take advantage of moves that happen within this zone, here to here, here to here. This is another zone, this is another zone. So it helps you focus your effort on trying to understand what is happening on a pair at the moment. After you have gone through the higher time frame, now coming down to a lower time frame, it helps you focus. Now you can even go lower to time frame, 4 hours time frame or 1 hour time frame to plot your support and resistance zone, but those will be minor zones. So I usually would go down to almost daily, But if I see that the candles are much, I just stick to my weekly zones and try to trade off these zones. So what happens is that once price breaks this is a support now. Where I'm pointing is a support. Once price breaks this zone, there is a high chance of it coming all the way to this zone. Price moves from zone to zone. So I believe from what we have done now, you should be able to plot your support and resistance on any time frame. If let me take it a notch further to daily time frame. Now, if you come to a daily time frame, you will even see more swings. Now, on the daily time frame, you can even segment this trade to a much closer support and resistance. But if the weekly is enough for you, can trade off the weekly. Now you see that these are swings. I've tried to join these swings and get, so I'm going to change the color. Maybe what do we use, guys? Suggest. Okay, let's use purple. So this will help you to know that, you see what happened when price broke here, it came directly to this point. If price maintains this zone and you find out that this support holds, then you can decide to make entries. But we're not talking about entries yet. We'll discuss that later in the course. That will take you to this point, and you take out your profit at this point. So what does support and resistance do for you? It helps you to segment the chart on the immediate trading zones. Now this will help you can target properly. It gives you a logical price for targets, price targets for profit target. Like if I make an entry here, I can have a target here to take my profit here. If I made an entry here, I can have a target to take my profit for a sell trade here. It also helps you to look at where and when to place your stop loss. Now if you know that price is trading within this zone, you try as much as you can to put your stop loss outside of the zone, knowing that this is the immediate trading environment. You put your stop loss outside of the zone. It becomes safer when your stop loss is outside of the zone. So this will bring us to the end of the support and resistance class. I believe this is simple enough. Your assignment will be to go to the major pairs and draw out support and resistance zones from the monthly to the weekly down to the daily time frame. Thank you for attending this class. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you.